Hi and welcome back. In this extra video, we're going to look at a simple way to monitor your site to make sure your site is live and running, and a way of being warned if it isn't for any reason. Now, there are a number of free tools available for this, and I'll put links to 2 or 3 below this video so you can have a look and check out and see which one you prefer. This is the one that I like. It's called Hetrix Tools, and you can see why I like it if I go across to the Uptime Monitoring pricing structure. If we scroll down, you'll see under the free for life sign up option, you can have up to 15 uptime monitors, server monitors, and the checkup frequency is 1 minute, which is fairly quick, fairly often, and you can select 4 locations, etc. So there are quite a few settings here that are relevant to the free version that we can take advantage of and make sure our site is up and running. To sign up, it's simply a question of clicking on the free sign up button here. You'll get to a register form, fill in your details, register, and at the bottom there'll be a button to click on to register. Once you've done that, you'll need to confirm your email address, and then you'll end up on the dashboard that will look something like this. Okay, so now we're in the dashboard. What we're actually going to do is click on the option to set up a free uptime monitoring. And remember, on the free version, we've got up to 15 of these. Don't forget, you could potentially also set up another account with a different email address if you needed more websites. Let's click on this and bring up the option to manage monitors, which is where we can add a new one in. Now you'll notice this is a fresh new account where I've just set up a new domain that I'm keeping an eye on. The uptime is currently 100%, but then I only set this up 18 minutes ago. I've got more than one account on Hetrix. As I said, if you've got multiple websites, you may need more than one account if you want to keep it free. Although having said that, I do have a paid version for some of my more important sites, and that's something you may consider in the future. But the important thing here is to get up and running for free so that you do know when any of your sites are actually down. Okay, so the next thing we actually need to do is click on the option to add a new monitor in, and it'll bring up an option to choose what type of monitor, and we're going to go with a website monitor, and all we need to do is fill in the details here on screen. So I've simply popped in a name, which is the same as the domain name that I'm going to be monitoring on this, then pop in the URL for the website link that I want to do, that I want to monitor. This could be the home page, it could be an internal page, it could be a subdomain, whatever you need to track to make sure it's up. For instance, if you're running a membership site, it may be the members login that you want to monitor to make sure that that's up and running. Or if you're running a product or a launch, you may want to monitor the sales page to make sure that's up and running. There are some other options here. You can track a keyword for specific pages. You can also have optional categories. I just tend to go with the domain or the individual page that I'm interested in keeping an eye on. Then you can have different contacts who are informed when the site goes down. I think you may need to pay more and then you go to the paid version to actually use that. The important bit down here is to choose 4 locations from which you want to monitor. So in my case, I'm going to go with New York, San Francisco, London, and Sydney, as that covers where the majority of my clients come from across the globe. There is another option for advanced settings. This you shouldn't ever need, but there is an awful lot of settings that you can play with in here if you want to get sophisticated with it. But the basic settings are all we need. So I'm going to click on hide advanced settings, click on add monitor, and that will now add that to our list and start monitoring that site to let us know if it's ever down. If there's ever a problem with it, we'll get an email to let us know about it. Now there is another monitoring option under tools that you may be interested in, which is your blacklist monitors. And for this, we'd need the IP address of our website. To get that, you can go across to a site called DNS Checker. So it's dnschecker.org, and I'll put a link for that under this video as well. And all you do is pop in your URL for your domain. So let's pop in MAT1 here, click on search. That will give me the IP address for this domain, so it's 185.151.30.193, and I can then pop back to my dashboard with my blacklist monitors, and what I'm going to do is click on add monitor, pop in the IP address, and then simply put in a label as well. This is MAT1. The name of the domain is the easiest way to go, and then click on add monitor. The system will now start monitoring that IP address and let us know if it starts appearing on any blacklists for email problems and deliverability, spam problems, and things like that. So again, another free service that is very useful to know what's going on with your domain. Now the default is that they will warn you of any uptime issues via email, but if you go into account settings, there is an option to set up SMS, and if you go into contact lists, you can set up additional contacts who will also be informed as well as you when there is a problem. So that's all you need to know. If we go back to the dashboard, it gives us an overall summary, and that's a free way of making sure that you get a message when your site is down for any reason so that you know your uptime is covered. Thanks very much for watching. Please feel free to move on to the next video.